Terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia. At the first day of Hanukkah, the Jews were celebrating a holiday, first day of Hanukkah, and two Muslims committed a terrorist act. Last I heard, there were 12 fatalities and 29 wounded. And so let's talk about that amongst a couple other things. So let's talk about these Muslims, right? They seem to be carrying out these terrorist attacks around the world. And, you know, they always pick this time of year for the snake to show his head, right? So I'm quite sure everyone has heard the news. So my prayers and condolences to my Jewish brothers and sisters out there in Australia. You should be able to celebrate your holiday without the risk of losing your life over it, or right behind these Muslims. And so, I mean, what can we say? You know, this is what they do, right? And I just watched the thing today. See, a lot of people aren't really paying attention to what's going on globally when it comes to these Muslims, right? This way, Samson. They're not really paying attention. So look what's going on in Brussels, Germany, the UK, also in Australia. See, Australia, they also was allowing all these so-called refugees or whatever. They're just enemy invaders from all these Muslim countries. This way, Samson. Come on, man. He just want to do his own thing today. So Australia, with their lax immigration policies, right? You know, that Europe was under as well, that the United States has been doing, allowed all these Muslim, Islamist terrorists into their countries, okay? And so what they've been doing is slowly taking over by getting involved in politics, intimidating the local people. And I was just reminded of last year in Germany how a Muslim drove his vehicle into a Christmas festival crowd, you know, taking the lives of a bunch of people during the Christmas festival, okay? And so they're once again doing the same thing this year, disrupting Christmas festivals. It's what they do, okay? These are Islamist Muslim invaders, right? And so now they carried out a terrorist act in Australia. And it's so wild when you watch the news feeds because the bodies haven't even been removed from the streets, and the local news reporter was defending the Muslim population down there, telling everybody to, you know, let's not demonize one group of people over another, and our diversity is our strength. You know, that whole let's all get along rhetoric, right? Isn't that amazing? A local news anchor in Australia was actually trying to defend the very Muslims that are the threat that terrorized the Jewish community on the first day of their holiday, right? It's amazing. This way, Samson. Samson, come on, man. So, there you go, look at him. So, yeah, and so, enough of that. That's still developing news story, of course, but, you know, once again, two Muslim terrorists shot up a Jewish Hanukkah festival in Australia. Now, Plano, Texas. Let's talk about that. So down in Plano, Texas, Jake, I just looked at his name. I forgot. Jake something. I forgot his name. Anyway, the same guy that was just recently up here in Dearborn, Michigan, he went down there and did a protest down in Plano, Texas. Now, a lot of people aren't aware that the Muslims, the audacity, if you think about it, to go down to Texas, that's God's country, right? It's probably not a more conservative state in our union than Texas. So these Muslims, they went down there and they trying to establish a stronghold, really, down in Texas by creating their own Islamic city, right? Down in Plano, Texas. We're talking about with their own Sharia police, everything, trying to create their own Islamist town in the heart of Texas. The audacity, right? So Jake went down there. He did one of his protests, and the people down in Texas, thank God, are starting to really push back against these Muslim invaders. All right, and they should. If you allow them to set up their own stronghold in Texas, then you know what it's going to take to actually get them Muslims out of there, right? So people need to really start standing up against what they are doing. They are pushing forth an agenda to Islamify our country, okay? And we need to stand up as Americans and really start speaking out and pushing back against this. I know there are those on the left that'll be like, oh, what about freedom of religion? Just see, that whole Islam is more than just a religion. It's a political ideology. Like democracy and socialism and communism. Islamism is a political ideology, okay? Sharia law is their constitution, if you will. So it's more than just religion, okay? It's not about freedom of religion. If it was about freedom of religion, then why are they blasting their call to prayer on loudspeakers, disturbing everybody? I don't want to hear that in my country. You know, they're violating my rights then, okay? See, that's the thing about us as Christians. We're not going to force our faith upon you. I'm going to tell you about the Lord, tell you about salvation. And if you reject it, hey, go to hell then. I'm good with it. That's your choice. I'm going to keep it moving. See, Islam be like, oh, you gotta bow down to our pedophile prophet or we're going to cut your head off. See the difference? And so I just want to make sure we keep that in mind. Shout out to Plano, Texas down there. You good American Texans down there. You better stand up and take your state back. Don't allow them Muslims down there to get a foothold in your state, okay? They need to learn how to stay in their place in this country. They want to practice their ungodly religion. They need to do it in their homes and in their minds, okay? We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. Absolutely. And come Christmas time, if one of you Muslims out there, you got something in mind, a terrorist act on this soil, I promise you, you will pay. There's no doubt about that. The American people are pushed to that point. If one of y'all act up one more time out of pocket in this country, you gonna see it. You will see it. I can promise you that. I can feel it in the air, right? I guarantee you, y'all Muslims better shut up, be quiet, and get back in your place. If you ain't gonna assimilate to our country, if you don't want to show any type of allegiance to our country, you need to get on, right? Or be quiet, one of the two. But I promise you, if something go down this Christmas holidays, one of y'all Muslims want to act up or commit a terrorist act, yeah, you better think twice about that for sure. You better send a message out to all y'all Islamic terrorist cells you got in this country. They better stand down. Better stand down. If you knew it was good for y'all right now, you better stand down. Now is not the time to see. Keep poking the bear. Keep poking the bear, I'm telling you. I'm just one voice out of millions, right? I'm strong enough, willing enough, and bold enough, don't care about none of y'all to speak up and say what everybody, a lot of people thinking, want to say, wish they could say. But it's people like me and others like me, we give voice to the voiceless, right? So once again, any of y'all Muslims out there, you got plans to harm any Americans during this holiday season, I promise and guarantee you there will be retribution. No doubt about it. We are to that point. If I was y'all, I'd pack your bags and get on back to your own country where you can do your call of prayer all day long and live on your knees like your fake God Allah and your pedophile prophet tell you to do, right? If you knew it was good for you. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit me with a sub, a like, and a comment. I welcome it all. Everybody be safe.